Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. A storm is brewing in Scottish football once again, and it's not about goals, tactics, or signings. It's about words, sharp ones, the kind that sting deep into rival colors. Russell Martin, the Rangers boss, has found himself right at the center of the fire after making a statement that many are calling the most disrespectful jab of the season. It happened during what seemed like an ordinary post-match chat, but the tone, the smirk, and the words chosen turned it into a full-blown grenade tossed across Glasgow. Martin, with his cool confidence, apparently referred to the Celtic supporters as a crowd that confuses noise with passion, a line that instantly went viral. You could practically hear the outrage echoing from Parkhead to every pub that bleeds green and white. For the Rangers fans, though, it was pure entertainment, a classic example of their boss standing tall and unbothered. But make no mistake, this isn't just a bit of friendly banter. It's personal, it's emotional, and it's reignited the age-old war of pride and loyalty that defines the old firm rivalry like no other in world football. What makes this whole situation so explosive is the timing. Just days before the next old firm clash, tensions were already through the roof, and now this? Russell Martin's comments have poured petrol on a fire that never really goes out in Glasgow. The city is split, as always, but now it feels different. There's venom in the air. Celtic fans have flooded social media with fury, calling Martin arrogant, classless, and unfit to lead a club with such a global reputation. They've been digging up old interviews, searching for any sign of hypocrisy or disrespect, trying to tear apart his credibility piece by piece. Meanwhile, Rangers supporters are rallying around their manager like soldiers behind a general before battle. They see this as mind games, a way to get under Celtic's skin before the big showdown. And truth be told, it might be working. Every radio show, every paper headline, every pub conversation is about one thing now: Martin's words. And whether he's gone too far or simply done what all great managers do: control the narrative. In the modern era of football, where every word is amplified, dissected, and thrown into the echo chamber of social media, Martin's jab feels both reckless and calculated. Some insiders close to Ibrox say it wasn't a slip. It was deliberate, part of a psychological strategy to rattle the opposition before the weekend's clash. If that's true, it's a bold move. The old firm isn't just another match. It's religion wrapped in football shirts, history painted in two shades, green and blue. Every sentence uttered by either side's coach becomes scripture for one crowd and blasphemy for the other. Journalists have started comparing Martin's remarks to the infamous mind games of Sir Alex Ferguson, who used to play the media like a fiddle to unsettle opponents. The difference, of course, is that Ferguson never insulted the fans directly. Martin's decision to take aim at the Celtic faithful crosses into dangerous territory, one that could easily backfire if things don't go his way on the pitch. Inside Celtic Park, the mood is electric and furious. Players and staff are reportedly using Martin's words as motivation, plastering the quote on dressing room walls, letting it fuel their fire. The supporters, who never need much to ignite their passion, are already preparing to unleash a thunderous response during the next match. There are whispers that banners, chants, and coordinated displays are being planned to mock the Rangers' boss in every possible way. For them, this isn't just a slight. It's a personal insult against their identity, their history, and the unwavering loyalty they've shown through thick and thin. Celtic fans have always prided themselves on their atmosphere, their singing, and their unity, so to have that questioned by a rival only makes them louder, prouder, and angrier. And as we know in Scotland, anger in football can be a powerful motivator, one that sometimes changes the entire course of a match or even a season. Meanwhile, at the Rangers camp, Martin seems unbothered by the chaos he's unleashed. Reports suggest he's keeping things calm, joking with players in training, focusing on tactics, and even doubling down privately on his earlier statement. Those close to him say he believes in psychological warfare. that football at this level is as much about emotion as it is about skill. He's convinced that Celtic's reaction, the outrage, the headlines, all play into his plan. The Rangers board, though, are reportedly a bit uneasy. While they enjoy the boost among their fans, there's fear that one bad result could turn the narrative completely. In the social media age, bold words can turn into biting regrets overnight. Still, Martin's confidence remains unshaken. To him, this is part of showing that Rangers won't bow, won't hide, and won't be intimidated by the noise from the other side of Glasgow. Whether that's bravery or foolishness depends entirely on what happens when the whistle blows this weekend. And let's not pretend, the whole country is watching. Pundits have been debating it nonstop, fans are glued to every update, and journalists are camping outside training grounds hoping for another explosive comment. It's not just about football anymore. It's about pride, identity, and one of the oldest rivalries in world sport. Martin has lit a fuse, and everyone's waiting to see what happens when it reaches the dynamite. Will he emerge as a mastermind who used words to rattle his greatest rival, or will he be remembered as the man who poked the wrong bear at the wrong time? One thing's certain, the next Old Firm match won't just be a game. It'll be a war of noise, emotion, and revenge. Glasgow thrives on these moments, the kind that make your heart race and your blood boil. And whether you wear blue or green, you can feel it. Something special, something dangerous, something unforgettable is coming. The fallout hasn't slowed down. If anything, it's growing bigger by the hour. What started as a throwaway line has evolved into a full-blown cultural debate across Scotland. Talk shows, podcasts, and pubs are dissecting Martin's choice of words like a courtroom jury, and everyone seems to have a strong opinion. Former players have joined the fray too, with some defending Martin's passion and honesty, while others have slammed him for showing a lack of respect to the supporters who make Scottish football what it is. It's remarkable how one sentence can shake the entire landscape of the game. But in Glasgow, that's the norm. The Old Firm doesn't need fuel. It's already an inferno. Yet Martin just threw in a gallon of pure gasoline. Every media outlet is running with headlines that make the drama sound even bigger because, truth be told, nothing sells like rivalry. And with the next match just around the corner, the anticipation feels almost unbearable. Behind closed doors, sources close to Celtic have hinted that their manager has already used the controversy to his advantage. Team talks have become fiery, emotional, and laser-focused on proving a point. The players have reportedly vowed to let their football do the talking, a direct response to Martin's insult. Meanwhile, Celtic Park staff have been working overtime to prepare for what could be one of the most hostile atmospheres ever witnessed in Scottish football. Chants are being rewritten, banners designed, and even pre-match displays choreographed to send a clear message. We are the noise, and the noise wins. It's classic Celtic defiance, a refusal to be belittled. And for a team that's been accused of complacency in some recent matches, this controversy might be exactly what they needed to sharpen their edge. On the other hand, the pressure on Martin is monumental. Every camera will be pointed at him, every cheer and boo amplified, every gesture analyzed. He's not just facing Celtic now, he's facing an entire wave of outrage. Over at Ibrox, the Rangers faithful are loving every minute of it. For them, Martin has become something of a folk hero, a manager who's unafraid to ruffle feathers and remind everyone that Rangers won't back down to anyone. The club's official media channels have subtly embraced the controversy, posting clips of Martin's confident interviews and training ground banter, framing him as a man on a mission. Yet, beneath the surface, there's a quiet nervousness. They know how quickly the tide can turn in Glasgow. A single defeat, especially to Celtic, can erase weeks of goodwill. Martin's words have raised the stakes sky high, and anything short of a convincing win could see his own fans start questioning whether he went too far. Still, for now, they're united, singing his name, wearing their colors with pride, and preparing for a match that already feels like more than football. It's a statement of identity. The press conference before the game was pure theater. Cameras flashing, microphones buzzing, and Martin walking in with that same composed grin. He was asked directly whether he regretted his comments, and his answer was pure defiance. I don't regret being honest. If people can't handle that, maybe they're proving my point. You could almost hear the collective gasp in the room. Reporters scribbled furiously, The internet exploded within seconds, and suddenly the story was reborn. Celtic fans called it arrogance. Rangers fans called it courage. But no matter how you see it, one thing's undeniable. Martin has everyone's attention. He's turned this into psychological warfare, intentionally or not. And as the clock ticks closer to kickoff, the pressure feels almost cinematic. You can imagine the roar at Celtic Park, the sea of scarves, the banners flying, and Martin standing there, facing it all head-on, knowing that every eye in Scotland is on him. Football, at its heart, is emotion, raw, unfiltered, and unpredictable. That's why moments like this matter so much. They transcend tactics and stats. They dig into pride, culture, and belonging. Russell Martin might have crossed a line, but in doing so, he's reignited something that makes Scottish football unique. That blend of passion and chaos that no other rivalry can replicate. Maybe, deep down, that's what he wanted all along. To remind the world that the Old Firm isn't just a derby, it's a way of life. Still, there's danger in poking the bear. Celtic fans have long memories, and if their team delivers on the pitch, Martin's words will be thrown back at him for months, maybe years. Yet if Rangers win, he'll be hailed as the man who played the perfect psychological game. Either way, this isn't ending quietly. It's a moment destined for highlight reels and pub debates for decades. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. And so, as Glasgow holds its breath, you can feel the electricity running through the city. Taxi drivers, shopkeepers, school kids, everyone's talking about it. The rivalry feels alive in a way that only controversy can make it. The match hasn't even been played yet, but it already feels legendary. Win or lose, Russell Martin has written himself into the story of Scottish football's greatest battle. Maybe he's reckless, maybe he's brilliant, probably a bit of both. But that's what the Old Firm does. It turns ordinary men into myths and managers into villains or heroes overnight. And when that whistle blows, when the songs rise and the city trembles, we'll all remember how it started, with one sentence, one smirk, and a spark that set Glasgow ablaze once again. Finally, the long-term implications of Mourinho's remarks are beginning to manifest in subtle but meaningful ways. Rumors hint that rival clubs are re-evaluating their own strategies, potentially adjusting scouting, training, and tactical planning in anticipation of facing a team publicly lauded as a serious title contender. Media analysts speculate that the attention could influence sponsorship deals, international broadcasting rights, and even the perception of Scottish football globally, positioning Celtic at the center of a narrative that extends beyond domestic competition. The combination of psychological impact, fan enthusiasm, and strategic scrutiny forms a complex ecosystem in which Mourinho's words act as a catalyst, shaping conversations, expectations, and perhaps even outcomes. Every post-match analysis, media feature, and fan discussion is now filtered through the lens of his recognition, creating a season-long story that blends performance with speculation. While the true effect will only be seen on the pitch, the swirling rumors, debates, and excitement generated by Mourinho's statements have already transformed the environment around Celtic, making the upcoming fixtures feel charged with anticipation, narrative weight, and the subtle drama that only football of this stature can generate. Supporters, journalists, and rival clubs alike are watching closely, eager to witness how this endorsement will unfold in the most unpredictable and thrilling of sporting theaters. The intensity of the ongoing discourse underscores the power of narrative in football, where a single outspoken player can shift public perception, fan sentiment, and media framing simultaneously. Joe Hart's retirement statement has become emblematic of larger themes in professional sport, touching upon respect, career recognition, and the emotional resonance of feeling undervalued after years of dedication. Discussions now explore whether Celtic's treatment of Hart represents an isolated case or a symptom of wider systemic practices that affect players across leagues and countries. The story has transcended gossip, evolving into an ethical debate about how clubs balance results-oriented pressures with personal regard for players who have devoted significant portions of their careers to the sport. Analysts continue to parse every nuance, from past managerial decisions to contract negotiations, while fans eagerly speculate about potential responses from the club or even future revelations from other players. The narrative thrives on the tension between personal grievance and institutional reputation, creating a sustained buzz that dominates both traditional and social media channels. Hart's voice, once confined to the pitch, now reverberates across the footballing world, illustrating how a candid perspective can spark widespread discussion and influence perceptions long after a player has left the game. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.